Let me start out by saying, if you are an SQ snob, where you think everything has to be thousands of dollars, this video ain't for you. If you're someone who wants to make something sound really good and not spend a ridiculous amount of money for that last 1%, check this out. Alright guys, so this car audio enthusiast is my 2010 Chevy Tahoe, and here's some of my scores that I received. And sound quality, stage and position, 8s, 8, I got a 2, the maximum is a 10. I got 7s, 5s, a 3, 8, 7. These are my scores for all the different elements: sound quality, definition, and clarity. Engine noise, I got 3s on all that. All I was hearing was my exhaust. Alright, this is just the mids and tweeters up here on the dash by themselves. This is these guys. I'll show you the crossover points. Same body. Okay, same track, just a subwoofer turned on. Wanted the same volume level, about half volume. Just the subwoofer. Okay, this is the same exact track with the A-pillars and the doors playing. No subwoofer. Same volume level. Alright, this is the same track. We're going to set the same volume with all the speakers playing, all channels. Okay, this tweeter right here is one that I would recommend. I've heard this tweeter quite a bit, and I'm familiar with its sound characteristics. And I'm going to show you some of the essential numbers here. So its frequency response is 3,000 to 20,000. The filter that comes with it cuts off at 8K with a 12 dB roll off. That's its current filter that it's got. which is a good filter. That puts it playing, the lowest it's playing is about 1800 hertz, which is really good. And this is the driver right here. So this would be a driver I would recommend. All right, so these guys are $50 a pair on gpcaraudio.com, and of course you can always buy them with a Kima. I believe a Sima is on here, but they're excellent tweeters. They are 2 1/4 inches wide. This thick part right here is 2 1/4 inches across, so you need a 2 1/4 inch cutout, and they're not real deep. Should go in most installations. Notice they also have binding posts, which is really nice, and these are 4 ohms a piece. They handle about 35 watts RMS or something like that. That's what they're rated at, which is more than enough power on mids and highs, or highs rather. These guys here are what I currently have in my Tahoe. The machetes. I think these are actually, the ones I have are slightly better than these, but they're very, very similar. And they sound amazing, and they're $35 a pair. So on gpcaraudio.com. So if you guys are looking for a good tweeter, this is an option right here. It's a lot smaller in size, and it handles its power quite well. Because I've got a bucket load of beans on mine. I'm going to show you a couple other drivers I'd recommend. Okay, these drivers here, the Machete MM60 V2s. I have a set of these in my Tahoe, and let me tell you, they're not a sub or a woofer, but they really do handle lows quite well. And they're supposed to be cut off at 100 hertz to 12,000. And they will easily play that 12,000 and that 100 hertz. I've got them playing the 100 hertz right now with a 24 dB roll off, and they handle that fine. And their RMS power is rated at 90 watts, and I can tell you I've got 75 watts on mine. And like I said, I don't baby them. They get hard, they get hit hard, and they handle power very, very well. So I'm really impressed with these. They have a nice natural sound to them. Good vocal sound, a really good low vocal sound. And then there are these guys. I was not impressed when I first put them in, but once I got a good seal on my doors, they came to life. They have a really, really solid mid bass, and I've got mine crossed over on the same channel with 60 hertz or the 100 hertz, the 24 dB roll off, with my other drivers, and they're on the same channel. They actually will handle 30 to 3500, 30 hertz, 3500 hertz, excuse me, and 80 watts. Again, I've got 75 watts on them, and right now I've got them crossed over at 100 hertz and down at a 24 dB roll off with the mid drivers, and those two together sound phenomenal. If I was to run a single set by themselves, I would run the other one that I just showed you, the other driver, maybe. I don't know. These things sound really good. They have a nice natural sound, and their natural roll off is pretty low. So they tend to roll off probably in the high hundreds, maybe 1,000 hertz, somewhere in that range, and they just kind of go away after that all by themselves. But they will play nice and low and nasty and handle power well and sound nice and clean and linear. So that's good. Okay, these guys are available on gpcaraudio.com, and they're $109 a set. So $100 get you both of these woofers. And these are actually the Alfords. This is supposedly, I think it's the upgrade. Hang on a second. Okay, as for amplifiers, I think I would probably recommend this guy for your 5-channel setup. If we're on a budget, you might be able to find something less expensive, but I know that the Apocalypse line is solid, and this is a 2000.5. This is the AAK 2000.5 on GP Car Audio website, and going down and looking at the specs, that is a 5-channel, and at 2 ohms it makes 200 by 4. It's got a wallop of a subwoofer channel on here with 1160 amp watts. Excuse me, my brain just turned off. 1160 watts at 1 ohm. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So on the 4 ohms, you're looking at 130 by 4 and 680 by 1. At 2 ohms, you're looking at 200 by 4. So I'm not sure about the ohm load on this amp, but this power range is good for these speakers that I've got selected on this particular build. Okay, yeah, here it is. 1 ohm RMS power. 1 ohm is going to be that 1780 on that one channel. So if you run that 5th channel at 1 ohm, you're looking at almost 2,000 watts. It'll probably be well over 2,000 watts. That will rock a vehicle, let me tell you. And 2 ohm and 1 ohm. So the minimum load you can go on the 4 channels is 2 ohms, and then the minimum load you can go on the single 5th channel is 1 ohm. This is good. This is all very good. 12 dB per octave crossover on everything. It's got 0 gauge power, 8 gauge speaker wire output. It's got a nice dampening factor of 100. 9 to 15 volts working voltage, which is excellent. And it's not too big. It's only 20 inches long, 15 pounds. So yeah, this would be a solid choice for a budget-ish SQ amplifier. You don't want to go too budget on your amplifier, because that is the thing that makes all the boom, and you need the power and reliability and cleanness. You can go budget, a little more budget on your speakers, because they're only reproducing what's given to them. As long as they don't come apart or blow, they're going to sound pretty good. So you drop $600 on this amp, and then about $250 or so to get your drivers in place. That's just a real rough rounded up number. You know, you're looking at $850 for all the setup except for the subwoofer. And for SQ kind of a setup, that's really good numbers. Those drivers are impressive for their price. They really impress. If you guys are limited on space, sir, this is a very interesting sealed enclosure, custom enclosure prefab. This is the True Spec line from GP Car Audio, and this is nice. It's all stack cut, CNC. That's crazy cool. Built to spec. That's what the True Spec enclosures are. This comes with the subwoofer and the enclosure for $369. So that's an excellent deal. If you're wanting something sealed and fairly small, you're limited on space, that's a 10-inch driver. That whole thing's not no more than maybe a little over a foot wide. It would fit in a very tight area and be an excellent source of base for a tight build. Of course, there's plenty of options if you're not if you have room. I mean, even in the prefab area, like with this True Spec box here, the prefab 10, that's got a ported box for $287. There's this little Audio Ace. It's a 6.5-inch subwoofer with box for $229, and that is a pretty cool little setup. Very small. I've seen that box. It looks like a toy, but that thing hits hard. These are all loaded pre-spec boxes, but all with sundown gear. So, and the prices are not bad considering what you're getting from these guys. So if you ain't been to GP Car Audio, go check them out, man. Good stuff.